Thousands of people have been involved in climate marches around the country, but you probably didn't hear as much about this in the media as you would because, of course, the ones in Sydney and Melbourne had to be held online. But there were thousands of kids who went in places like Adelaide, Hobart, Alice Springs and Townsville. So let's talk about the pressure on kids when it comes to climate activism, climate politics being played by adults and the media. Clare Rowe is our mate and our child psychologist. Clare, nice to see you again. Great bangs, by the way.
Hi,
good
Paul.
to see. You off to the hairdresser as soon as you could. Good to see. Love it. Now, let's talk about the climate of fear that exists for kids and what you see. Because I understand why kids are nervous about the future. Why wouldn't they be? But does this actually ever get to the level where a professional like yourself gets involved?
Oh, look, it did pre-COVID. And I look, can I really cynically say I suspect it will come back again? And the cynic in me says, look, I understand these strikes are timed with Glasgow coming up, but look, we're just getting ahead of, COVID, or we're coming around the corner and we're going to start maybe talking about that a bit less, and boom, we're back to climate change anxiety again. Just as we're getting kids back to the classrooms, they want to strike about climate change. But anyway, look, it is real though, Paul. It is, and I'm really hesitant, particularly, of course, as a child psychiatrist, as a psychologist, and every time I kind of talk about climate change, the trolls come out and the haters come out against me. But I'm hesitant to criticise the kids themselves. I really do think that they are, that they're completely hijacked for a cause. And the difficulty with kids, of course, is that they passionately believe what they're protesting about, as most protesters do, and I appreciate that. But they're unable, they're very concrete thinkers, and they're unable to have that nuanced discussion about economic modelling. And yes, we all agree we have to do something, but how does this look for the ordinary person? As as Nigel Farage was saying earlier on your show, the price is going to be extraordinarily high for that average person. Are they prepared to go home and give up luxuries that they're going home to, etc.? So, look. The anxiety for these kids is real. They do believe that they are fighting for their future, and they do believe that unless we as adults do something, the world is going to go up in flames. And that's a terrifying position for an 11-year-old to be in.
Yeah, and also, it's not that they don't understand the issue. It's that, as you say, there's nuance, there's proportionality. It's being in the same way, and I know this will offend people too, so let's join hands and get attacked by the trolls together, mate. Which is, it's a little bit like, for a lot of people, the way that they learn about religion, sort of the Sunday school version of things, right? Where for obvious reasons, it's boiled down to the easiest possible way of saying things in really dramatic terms about, heaven, hell, good, evil, burning, light, happy, all the rest of it, right? Very overly simplistic version of looking at it. But that's how young people process issues. And because you see things as every generation before you has somehow screwed up the world, that once that matches up with those sorts of perceptions, well, then the sense of urgency is even greater inside you, let alone, the diet of social media stuff that I don't even know about that screams about this all day, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tragic for them. And you're right, what it becomes is, because we lose that kind of nuanced centre debate, which, by the way, is what schools and universities should be teaching. They should be teaching those skills. But because we are losing those skills, if there's anyone that poses questions about what this looks like, how we're going to accomplish net zero, what life with net zero is going to be like, well, you're automatically against them. They're good and you're bad, you're anti-environment, you're happy to see the world go up in flames. And of course, that's not correct. But that is, of course, how, unless you're with them, you're against them. And that's a very dangerous position, I think, for young people to be in without having those skills to sit down and debate. And as I said, I think that's what the school system and curriculum, let alone universities, are severely lacking these days.